Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Um, no. Ah, okay. Let me. My computer. Everything looks weird.
Honest. Joining me, everybody.
There's, there we go. Okay, everything's looking right. Everything's looking okay. Hi. Hopefully, you all can hear me. Um, StreamYard's made some changes apparently since I was in here a few days ago, and everything looks a little different. So here's hoping everything is working the same, just looking differently because I just pushed all the buttons that I normally push, and if I have to push other ones, Lord help us all. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you all are having a really good day. I, okay, I see numbers ticking up. So we're going to, I'm going to stay this way for 1 second, just so I can show you what we're making today, and then I will switch everything around, but these are easier to show. First of all, for anybody who is new to me, I am Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. Welcome to the OOAK April event. I hope you all enjoy its cards and presentation, always really fun. So we're going to be making these little 3D eggs and bunnies. So this one, not sure you can tell, those bunnies on that are little, they're blue, the color is called sea glass, and then lime sorbet on this side. So that is the bunny. And then let me show y'all the egg. And I had lots of fun with this egg, so we'll see what we do. But I colored the egg all kinds of different colors and used like 3 different transfers to make the egg. Hello, everybody. Hey, Myrna. Hey, Audrey. Good morning. Good morning. Shane, Marjorie. Good morning. So we're gonna do one of those two. All right. So I'm going to switch my camera view, and then we're just going to go over this way so that we can, good morning, Kim, so that we can get going, because y'all know I will just talk and talk and talk. Let me give myself a little bit of a timer. Yeah, that. Okay. Hey, Joni, how are you? Where do I want to start? I don't know where I want to start. I have a list of some things to tell you all about, because of course I always do. I need to write one more thing down because I forgot. And so let me show you what I have done so far on the prep side. Let me move this camera just a smidge. There we go. So we're going to use the bunnies, the pack of bunnies is 3 different sizes. So this is do I have a smaller, there might be a different size bunny somewhere and I just picked 2 of the same. But you get 3 bunnies, and you got 3 bunnies in your kit, and then there were 3 eggs, also different sizes. So the one that I did already was the largest, and then we have this size right here. So I have primed these already for a couple of different reasons. One, if we have time, we're going to decoupage the bunny, and I'll tell you why the bunny and not the egg. But also, I have been playing around. I love this chalk MDF. This is really good MDF, better quality than a lot of others, and I love it for surfaces because it makes them very accessible price wise. But I have been playing around trying to figure out what it takes to not have to put 3 coats paint on them to paint it and actually look like you've got good coverage. So I primed these to see if that helps. And then we're going to put a design on the bunny just like this, so you all can see what it looks like on the surface as it is without anything else on it. So I think that's where we are. Oh, what are you doing in Michigan, Joni? Sorry, that's totally nosy. I'm going to be in Michigan in June. Um, Okay, wow. Y'all, I'm feeling like, I don't know what oh, I didn't paint from that. That's okay. I'm a little all over the place this morning. I have no idea why. Feeling very squirrely. It's okay. We'll get it together here. We'll get it together. All right, so let's put some paint on, nope, we're gonna decoupage the bunny. So let's put some paint on the eggs. So that way that can dry. And then we'll, kind of work in stages. So I have a couple of different colors of the home decor chalk paint. I have sheepskin, vintage Victorian, and summer porch. So I think we're going to do a little bit of what I did on the other ones, and we're going to paint the eggs different colors. Because why not? It's our eggs. We can do what we want. Hey, Laura Lee, how are you? Do I have... Okay, I've moved something and I don't know where I moved it to. That is a good question. What did I do with it? Oh, y'all, seriously. What's happening with me today? Okay, that's fine. We'll just do it this way. Not a big deal. We will just take the paint directly out of the bottle. So I just put a coat of the Dixie Belle Bonding Boss on this first. Dries super quick, which makes it really nice. And if you are, I've been using that mostly for decoupage projects, because if you're decoupaging on wood or metal, you want a primer on there so that any impurities from your surface don't come through the paper eventually and kind of destroy your project. So I had it sitting out because I had been working on something, and I thought, oh, let me prime these. And I can already tell just based on previous experience. Oh, Southern California. Kathy, what is it like in Southern California today? That this is going to help with the painting, because this first coat has much better coverage than what I've had just painting these surfaces without anything else on it. So I think I'm going to like that step. Hi, Heidi. Do that. And water, and we're going to paint the other side pink. Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. Hey, Mary Ann. So I am in Central Illinois. We have had another like 30-degree temperature shift this week. It was almost 90 here on Monday. And then Monday night, we had storms roll through. And on Tuesday morning, oh, Lord Lee, where are you? That's funny. When I got up Tuesday morning, it was 35 degrees. So it's a little bit warmer here today. It's very sunny, which is nice. That sunshine can be deceptive, but I'll take the sunshine over overcast for sure. And I think we're supposed to get up into and stay around the mid 70s this week, which is when we should. So I will take it. So we've got that. Now this is a very light color anyway. So I would expect coats. Oh, did I get pink on that? Bellicon. Oh, interesting. Hi, Christine. Silverton, Oregon. Oh, wow. Very nice. Remember? But this yellow, if you really wanted to just leave that and not do a second coat of paint, I think would work fine because you really don't see any lines, and you don't see much um, much of the underlying surface coming through. So that works really well. Clean that off, and we're going to let those sit for a minute, and then we're going to get to like the real thing. Okay, so I want you all to see what the design looks like just on the MDF surface as it is. And we're going to actually use, let's use this. We're going to use this one because I want to use the bunny pattern on the big bunny. Oh no, we're decoupaging the bunny. I keep forgetting that. I'm setting him off. I'm going to decoupage the bunny every time. Okay, so we will use this. I got too much going on now. I'm doing too many things. No, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as too many things. Oh, from Ohio. Okay, so we're going to take this. So how many of you, I see tons of names I recognize, but how many of you have never seen me do a chalk project? I know, aren't they cute? I love this pattern too, because I want to be mindful. I just don't want to just assume that everybody knows what I'm using in terms of product and what in the heck I'm talking about in terms of what I'm doing. But I also don't want to bore everybody and explain things that everybody already knows. So if you've never seen me do a chalk project on here before, let me know. All right, while I'm doing this part, I will look at my list here. I do have a few kits left. I know Easter is almost over. Well, almost over, but almost here. I have a few kits left. So if you didn't grab your kit and you're like, oh, I would have gotten this, let me know. Or if you just want the eggs or just the bunny or just the transfers, let me know because I can make that and work with. Uh, there's a couple of chalk promos going on right now. Let me get this lined up here. Let's see. I want a whole bunch of ones here. So we're going to line this up. And when I'm using a surface that is smaller than the transfer as a whole, I usually put underneath it. That way, when the transfer rests, it rests on the back of the tube and not on ridiculous, dirty, messy here. And then that makes it easier to bring it off when I'm finished. So I want a color that I know is going to show up really well on here. So we're going to either use the Tropic. This is one of the newer colors with the spring release. This is one of the on foam colors. So it's not permanent, won't be around forever. Is available right now. This is Struggle Bus. This was the March color of the month, which I do think is sold out. And then this is Marmalade. This was a color of the month a few months ago, and I actually haven't played with this one yet, so let's do this. Oh, are you guys having sound issues? Yeah, let me know if that's true. I can try to switch my microphone. It also could be me because I have noticed sometimes in my videos I talk as if you're sitting right next to me and forget that I speak up. So the mic. Okay, thank you, Myrna. Hey, Christine. Isn't that hilarious? And have you seen, Joni, have you seen the transfer that goes with it? The little bus that says struggle bus? It's so cute. Okay. All right, so we're going to do this. And then all you do here is you just take this little squeegee. This is my paste. And you just use the squeegee to, oh, I'm going to have a bubble there because I didn't make sure that's all the way down. That's okay. And just cover all of the white is your negative space, so that's where your design is going to be. Yeah, it's super cute. I know I have it. I don't think I've opened the box. It's a little A size transfer with a little bus on it, and it says on the struggle bus or something like that. And we're just going to squeegee off the excess there. And I'm just going to be trying to reuse my squeegees today. And then the hardest part about doing this when the transfer is bigger than the surface is finding a spot on the surface that you can hold on to hold it down while you're peeling up the transfer without sticking your finger in the wet paste. All right. So, oh, that looks good. I like that color. That's a good spring orange, but that's also going to be really fun for fall. Right, I'm trying to show you. So I didn't make sure that oh yes, Mara, that's a good idea. I didn't make sure that the transfer was smooth and flat all the way, so I had a little bit of a bubble up here. And so you can see there's a little bit of paste right on the edge of that bunny that shouldn't be there. Now that is not the end of the world. If it really bothered you, if you got like a Q-tip or a very, very small corner of a paper towel and got it wet, you could very easily get that off before the paste dries. Or just don't worry about it because nobody else is going to notice that. So yeah, so that's a good color for this. That shows up really well. So I'll have to remember that going forward with any of the MDF if I don't want to paint it. I'm trying to see what something looks like. So I like that a lot. And now, aren't they cute? I like that transfer a lot. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with today, but isn't he cute? Y'all kind of, those of you who know me and follow me, you kind of know I'm obsessed with making notebooks. I love using our minis on those. Okay, so there's that. And I am going to put a second coat of pink on this real quick. That out of my way. And then we're going to leave the yellow as just one coat. Just do this real quick, kind of messy. Not worrying about the coverage. Now y'all are going to see me do something that I tell you all not to do all the time, which is to chalk on a freshly painted surface. So general rule of thumb, and we'll get my surface wax out and we'll use that, but general rule of thumb is if you're going to paint a surface and then chalk on it, you want to allow that surface 24 hours to dry and completely cure. I am notorious for not doing that. not even just live, because I've not necessarily like thought far enough ahead for the prep side of it. But just I'll get an idea and I'll be like, I want to do this, then I'm going to do it right now. And so I don't have 24 hours to let the surface dry. That's where the surface wax comes in handy. Now I have done things without the surface wax, and the chalk gods have been gracious to me. Sometimes it depends on how old the transfer is. If it's one I've used, Renee, how are you? If it's one I've used long, many, many times, and the sticky is wearing off a little bit, a little more forgiving. The shimmer, hi Nancy, the shimmer pastes are a little more forgiving, that sort of thing. But it's also bitten me before and pulled up my paste, messed up my design. Okay, so this looks good. I am going to grab my surface wax real quick. It is right over here. Something I did not think to get out earlier. Or not really. Okay, nothing's where it's supposed to be today, my friends. That is, oh, haha, know where it is. I know where it is. Okay, well, we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope that this works. But at the end of the day, this is all about technique, and it is not 100% necessary for a project to turn out completely right for you to see the technique. Now, is it? Okay, so we're going to use the egg transfer on the egg surface. Let me get this little guy out of the way. Okay. So speaking of bunnies, we live, I won't say we live in the country. We don't live in the country, but we definitely don't live in what I would consider like a city area either. Lots of open fields and stuff around our house. Huge open field behind our house. And so we get bunnies in our yard all the time. Well, the dogs, that's a problem. And we had a bunny lurking around a month or so ago. And then I didn't see it. And we're down to one dog now, which makes it a little bit better because they can't corner a bunny rabbit. The rabbits can't get cornered like they used to. But let Thor out the other day, and there was a bunny up on our patio by our fire pit, which is where I had seen it before. And we have a gap underneath the fence so that they can get out pretty easily. But I didn't think much of it when Thor took off chasing the bunny. But I went outside just in case. And the bunny had gone out the yard, but I'm still hearing like this scurrying sound over on the patio by the fire pit. So I go and kind of look, I just kind of look over that way. Yep, baby bunny running around inside our fire pit. So I hollered to my husband to get the dog in. I went out in the garage and got gloves, and I just happened to have a big plastic tub sitting around, just trying to figure out what I want on here. Big plastic tub sitting in the garage. Grabbed that. There were 6 baby bunnies in our fire pit. Now, fortunately, they were mobile. We've had situations where we found nests where they barely had their eyes open. And we have a wildlife sanctuary. not far from our house. So we've taken them there. I know they didn't because they were just too young, but it's that or the dogs get them, which I can't deal with. So these were big enough, they were mobile. They just couldn't jump out of the fire pit, which in this instance was a good thing. So gathered them up and took them out the back gate. There's a big brush area with a whole bunch of dead leaves and places for them to burrow. So took them back there. Again, will they survive or not? I don't know. But you guys, the mom has been back in the yard like 3 times looking for them, and it kills me. Every time it just kills me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know I moved your babies. I'm so sorry, but they were, like they were not going to survive if I let them stay in the yard. Okay, so we have this down. We got a little bit of 2 eggs and some of the flowers, and we are, let's see, much of a fit this is going to give me. Okay, that seems to be coming up okay. Got to do a little bit of a shimmy there, but that will work. So we're going to do a paste and peel. We're going to do 2 colors. I think these colors will show up okay. But let me do something with a little more contrast. We're not doing 2 pale colors. We're going to use the sea glass and the taffy. These are also part of the spring release. Oh, let's get crazy. Let's do 3. Let's throw some lights out in there. Let me grab a paper towel so I can clean off my squeegee. So my whole box of tools is upstairs, except for like the 2 squeegees that I had sitting on my desk. Because I thought I was going to make a couple of t-shirts yesterday. That didn't happen, but I didn't bring everything downstairs. And I completely forgot that I had taken all of that up there. So as I'm going through my checklist, like, do I have everything? Yep, I got everything. I did. She did, in fact, not have in my best Morgan Queen books. So we're going to knock this off. Sure. We got all the marmalade off of that. And we're going to start with the sea glass. So there is a big Easter sale happening right now on the Chalk site. I forget what the percentage off is. That runs till April 6th, and that is for Perks members and designers. And then there is a buy one, get one heat transfer that runs through the 31st, also for Perks members and designers. And right now through the 31st, you can join Perks for $1. It's $1 for your first month. You still get your $20 in product credit, 30% off, plus access to the sales and specials that are going on. And have you guys, okay, so who in here, because I know I've got some of my Chalk customers in here, has anybody tried the heat transfers? Because I am sort of now in love with these things. And I was never a sublimation person. But we, as in design, designers as a whole, we've been playing around with using those transfers on non-sublimation surfaces. And I am kind of amazed at how well it works. Thank you. Yeah, so this is called sea glass, which I think is the perfect name for it. Pretty. And I'm happy with how that turned out. I was a little concerned it might have been a little light on that yellow, but that actually turned out really well. I like it. So I'm going to use a bit of this lights out. This was the February color of the month, so we're going to use that for like the leaves. This has been a really good summer green. And we're starting to get some heat transfers in the licensed products, which is nice. A couple of new Harry Potter designs that came out, I think it was last week. Did you all know there was a butterbeer season? There's an official butterbeer season. So if you're starting to see like lots of butterbeer flavored things in your grocery stores, that is why. I think it's March and April is official butterbeer season. And so we released a couple of Harry Potter butterbeer heat transfers to sort of correspond with that. They're really cute. And then the Seinfeld release that came out week before, along with the Friends release, the Seinfeld had a heat transfer. So I'm excited that we're getting some heat transfers to those licensed releases. So normally, unless you are talking on glass or acrylic or plastic, the transfer comes up much easier than this. It's really sticky because this is a painted surface and I didn't wax it first. So I'm just kind of rocking it back and forth so that I don't stretch it. And then open that up. So we're going to use taffy on the flowers. And this is another one of the new spring colors. So I do have prizes for commenting on the video. So we will be doing another mystery box. We don't have an event in April, so I'll be giving away a kit for the May event, which I will show you all what I think that's going to be. I was going to ask, I always like to know what it is you all would like to see. So you guys know I do a little bit of everything. I don't want to do another chalk project. I don't want to do 2 chalk projects in a row, unless you all have a particular interest in something. The heat transfers don't take very long, so we could do multiple of those in one session for sure, and we could play around with using non-sublimation transfers. So we could absolutely do that. But we could do a decoupage project for May. We could do a paper crafting project for May. So yes, the bunnies are so cute. The bunnies are so cute. They're the really, really cute. I know, I love this light. I love this. This has turned into one of my favorite colors of this chalk paint. And there's a really cute bunny heat transfer. That is very fun. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the lights out. Let me use a different. I'm so excited, y'all. So I got one of these so I could keep some daubers and inks at my desk. And then I figured out this morning that these little things in the back will hold squeegees. Because I always have at least 1 or 2 sitting on my desk, but they kind of get flung around in various places and get in my way. Put them in that. It's very excited. It's the little things. It's the little things. And I need my smaller details rule. So we're going to go back to the lights out for this here. Trying to make sure I get that edge there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this little greenery piece. So I was leaning towards a paper crafting project for next month, and I have that I just did. Becky is decoupaging as we go, as we're crafting here. Yeah, I'll have to show you all. I attempted a decoupage on this egg, and I will show you all. It looks good, but I will show you all why that didn't really work. Why I think it would work better. So now we're going to come up this way because I don't want to pull the whole transfer off. If I pull it all the way off, I'm going to have to reposition the whole thing. And that can be done, but it's best to wait until it dries. So if you ever accidentally, like if you're doing a paste and peel and you ever accidentally pull up a transfer all the way off your project before you're finished, you know, Myrna, I would not do this. It took me, I want to say, a year before I would try a paste and peel. I'm not lying. Because it made me so nervous. And so I would do the hot mess, or I would do the what's the gradient? I cannot, there's a name for it. Before I would do this. And then finally I was like, okay, you have to learn how to do this. Like it's just one of those things you need to know how to do. And so I started out with very simple designs where there weren't a whole lot of elements really close together, and just doing like two colors. Oh, cute. Um, I will say too that like if you don't have a detail tool or a multi-tool, cut one of your smaller squeegees in half. Um, Having a smaller squeegee to work with makes a difference as well. Um, and then, I mean, you can always, always, always do parts in one color, let it dry, lay your transfer back down, do the other parts in the other color. And also water, do the watercolor technique. So you do the whole thing in a neutral color like June or vanilla or white, depending on what your surface is, and then let that dry and then go back over it and just paint in the colors that you want. You don't have to, actually, it doesn't have to be watercolor. We're going to pull in some Tropic for, no, we're not. We're going to do C plus again. So, but yeah, if you ever find that you accidentally, or if you're doing a paste and peel and you pull up the whole entire thing and you didn't mean to, let it dry before you try to put it back in. Just from my own personal experience. And most of the time, if I try to fix something, like let's say I had some paste loss because my transfer pulled it up or something like that, I will let everything dry and then I'll go back with a paintbrush or something and try to fill that in. Oh, I have 6 minutes. Wait, is that right? I started at 10:45. Yeah. Oh, my timer was way wrong. I looked at my timer a minute ago and I was like, oh, I've got plenty of time. No, I don't. Okay. I mean, we'll get this done. That's fine. I gotta do this last little flower. What haven't I used? That's fine. We'll just stick with the 10. Paper crafting like cards. Okay. I am confident. Now, see, this is where I need a slightly smaller squeegee. So I'm just going to use the corner. Yeah, trying to fix is not easy. And it's much easier to fix if it's dry unless all you're trying to do is remove excess paste, kind of like that spot that I had, that extra spot on the bunny. That's a little bit easier to do if the paste is still wet. But anything else, always easier if everything is dry. I have found if I try to fix something when my paste is still wet, I'm going to just mess it up even worse. What is that? I don't know. Grab this corner. Oh, we're going to come up here. We're going to, this is mostly dry. Walk this back and forth. Yeah, I had a little bit of lift here. So I had a little bit of paste lift right there. There should be the edge of that egg. And that's just from not having this wax. And so just too much friction between the Haley, too much friction between the, or tension between transfer and that surface. So that's going to be easy to fix. Let this dry, drop that transfer back down. I might put a little surface wax on top of that and then do that. I don't know what happened right there. I think I smudged green into my um, obviously I'm not going to do it like this because it's not done, but then these eggs just slide together like this so that they stand up 3D. Now, I didn't do this because it's just my sample. But if you wanted to store them pulled apart, what I would recommend is a little bit of gator hide or some clear spray paint, just to protect that over time, which is why on the decoupaged egg, I wasn't really thinking about it. Where did I put it? I pulled it out this morning so I could show it to you. But I decoupaged one of the eggs and wasn't thinking about the storage and pulling it apart and putting it back together. And I was like, that's not going to work because no matter what you do to cover that decoupage paper, you're just, oh, here it is. You're just going to end up tearing it. Now, I like how it looked. It's really pretty. And I love this paper. But that's why I was feeling like the bunny would be a better option. So really quickly, I have 2 minutes left. So this is what I was thinking about for next month. You all tell me because I am more than happy to pivot. But this is a flex journal. So this is mine's kind of a mess. This is just regular paper. This was my sample, but you have sort of hinged pages. It's a way to make it so you can add as many pages as you want. The kit itself is set to make 8 of these internal pages, but if you just print more, because I can do this as a printable, I could also provide a hard copy, but if you wanted more, you would just print more pages and more hinges. And then I made my cover out of cereal boxes. And then I was going to add some like decorative elements into this that we could do together, some folders and folios and stuff. Thanks, Myrna. The final version actually has some additional elements on the pages and stuff too. So this is what I was thinking about for May. That is our next time together. So you guys can come in and comment later too and tell me what you think. I'm going to come back over this way. I have a whole minute left. So thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. I appreciate it. I do still have kits left. I have transfers. So if you go on my website to order the kit, it's all of it together, both the bunnies and the eggs and transfers. If you just want one piece of that, message me and I can create a link for that easily. I will be pulling, I'm going to do a third prize. I don't know what that is yet. So I'll be pulling those later, and I will see you all in May. Bye, everybody.